Hey, I'm Oluwadamola Anjorin, and today I want to teach you a very important topic, which is how to verify land ownership in Nigeria, most especially the rural aspect of Nigeria. So you need to know how to verify the land ownership to know if the person claiming to be the owner is actually the owner, and that's why I'm here today. So, and the part one of this video of this course is going to be on community health consent. Actually, in a rural area, it's a place whereby there's no proper documentation of the history of the land, the transactions that have taken place on the land, and nobody knows who owns the land. And anybody may claim they are the owner of the land. So how can you, as a stranger, come into the scene and verify the true ownership? That's the role of community health consent. Is going to help you to verify the ownership of the land, if truly the land actually belongs to the person claiming it. There are many problems on ground. I wish I would just cite some examples in Nigeria, especially in rural areas. We have incidents of which you will not be wrong by saying that Ajayi family, for example, owns the land, but you are wrong because the elder brother of the person claiming to own the land is actually the owner. Are you getting my point now? In Nigeria, we used to have issues whereby people that one of the family members may just claim to own the land, whereas if the land is a family property. Are you getting my point now? So the issue is that you need to verify the true owner, because you may be right. I've seen incidents whereby people purchase land from the elder brother, and actually the younger brother sued the elder brother to court, and the courts overrule and say that the younger brother is actually the owner of the land. So there are incidents like that whereby people just come around and say that, okay, this land belongs to me. So you need to verify the genuine owner. Are you getting my point now? So there are incidents of whereby, there's a problem I come across in the western part of Nigeria, whereby they sold the land, the Omoniles sold the land to the first party, and they sold it again to the second party. Just a plot of land. They sold it to the first person, to the second party, to the third party. And accidentally, the three parties met on the land, and they brought out their receipts. And so the third person was angry that why should they do this to them? Then the third person went ahead to court and sued the Omoniles to court for selling land for multiple people and for shooting them. And you know what happened? The Omoniles went ahead and sold the land to the fourth person. And after selling the land to the fourth person, they used the money of that the fourth person paid them to go and hire a lawyer to cite them in court against the third person. So my question is, who owns the land? I don't know if you understand that brief analogy I made. I said it's so bad where in the rural aspect of Nigeria, in case you're unable to verify the ownership, that they can sell the land for 4 people, one single plot of land for 4 people, and they'll be expecting all among the 4 people to have peace, which is very, very uncommon. So that's the problem we have on ground. Many people have even been discouraged about buying land because they've been cheated, they've been scammed, they've seen their relative being scammed. So there's no how you can convince them any longer that please try to buy land. No, they don't want to hear that again. So, and it has been limiting them for purchasing a land. But if you are watching this video, I know you're about to take a very good step that is going to help you to start accumulating land. Then you still need to be careful so that you will avoid the problems that is inevitable in the rural areas of Nigeria. But if you have these procedures I'm going to be teaching in this video, it's going to help you. So the first thing I would like to teach is community health consent. This is the part 1 of this video. I'm still going to be making other documents you need to get to ensure you have good land, but today I want to make just a video on community health consent. What's community health consent? What's community health consent? It's a letter that is written to the head of the community, either the chief, an high chief, or a king. Are you getting my point now? Of the community where you want to buy land. In case you go to a rural area in Nigeria, in the states, are you getting my point now? And you get to the land registry, there is no document. There is no true ownership. They're always saying that the land belongs to Egbedowa family. Are you getting my point now? But you can't verify the genuine owner, and one person out of that family wants to sell it to you. A lot of things may be happening. So you need to know how to verify that land. So community health consent is a letter that you write to the head of the community, either a king or an high chief of that community. They will tell you and they will tell you the details about the land, because the letter is very powerful. It's going to be telling, in the letter, you will see there that it's going to be stating that this letter is actually proven by the head of the community of social community. I get them. I will drop how the letter will look like. I'll drop it in my description box, so make sure you check it out. So this letter is written that Mr. Ajayi Onipede is actually the owner of this land, and that he has the right to sell it. I get to my point now. But the king or the high chief won't issue such letter of approval if the person claiming to sell the land is not actually the owner. So they will tell you that this man that is claiming to be the owner, he has a younger brother, and that younger brother is an imbecile. That imbecile is the one that actually owns the land. This is the reason why you need community head consent. It's going to help you to prove, not that the community head consent is recognized in courts, but it's a strategy to prove if the head of the community is actually aware that that person is the owner. So in case that incident come up, you're going to see that, okay, the king will say that actually this person have the right to sell the land, but there is still someone else that they both inherit the land together. Because if there is no legal documentation in the land registry, which there ought to be legal documentation, but because it's a rural area, there's no legal documentation. So if there's no legal documentation, the kings and the chiefs, they actually know the history of that land. So in case even it's a new chief, if it's a new king, the chiefs, most of them are always people that have experience and they know more about the history of the land. So if you are able to write a community head consent, it's a simple letter and it's always issued for free. This is what you don't know. Community head letter is always issued for free. You just send it to the palace of the community where you want to buy land. So when you send the letter there, they'll be very sure that, oh, this person that wants to sell land is actually the rightful owner. Is actually the rightful owner. So I've told you that the person that can issue a community head consent, it's actually a king or an high chief in the community. And where can you apply community head consent? You can apply community head consent in the places like urban settlements. You can apply community head consent there. You can actually apply community head consent in rural areas. And you may also apply community head consent in some urban settlements in case if there is no proper documentation. I get to my point now. For example, there are some places maybe in a very big city, and that place is still very local. I get to my point now. There are incidents like that whereby, okay, for example, in Abuja now, we have in Abuja, which is the FCT, we have some places in Abuja that they are still very local, very, very local. I get to my point now. So in such scenario, whereby you get to the land registry and you couldn't find any legal documentation of the land, you couldn't find the legal documents, maybe you can't find a survey plan, you can't find a C of O, you can't find a deed of assignment. Are you getting my point now? Okay, maybe the land is something that they inherited. So you need to understand that in that case, the next thing you can do is to write a community head consent letter to the community head. Tell them that you are interested in buying so land, and this man have actually claimed to buy it. Then they will send the letter back to you. You can also frame the letter for them and tell them they will have to fill, I, chief of so, king so, admit or I am aware that this person is the legal owner of this land and that he has the right to sell it, and that you buying this land will not hurt you in any way. So that's what community head is all about. Community head consent is all about. So it's going to help you. It's going to save you stress. It's going to save you problem. And as I've told you, when I'm teaching people on land and investment, I've made a lot of mistakes. And I've seen that teaching you about land, as I do tell people that I can teach you on how to buy land and you will never make mistakes. It's not that I'm going to teach you how to buy land, how to buy illegal lands. I will teach you how to get legal lands, because 40% of the lands in Nigeria are problem-free. They are free of encumbrances. They are not having problem in courts. But the issue is that you can't detect those lands. So that's where the community head consent comes in. So detect if a land is legal or not. So it doesn't mean that if you now have community head consent of an illegal property, it's going to make it legal. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm saying it's going to help you to determine the legal, because you don't want problem. You are here for investment. You are here to buy, to keep, either to build a home or to do land banking. So you have a plan for your property and you are not here for problem. So that's what community head consent it's all about. You can apply it in a rural settings, you can apply it in an urban settlement in case there's no legal documents. And this is how it's going to help you to save you of problem about land issues. That's one thing you need to know about community health consent. So how community health consent is going to look like, it's going to be in the description message. So you can try to download the community health consent template in the description. So thank you very much. If you haven't subscribed to this channel, try to subscribe. Once again, I'm Oluwadamilola Anjorin. I'm your real estate expert and investment coach. I can help you manage your property. I can help you guide you through. You can chat me up. You want to buy a land, you know how to go about it. I can always be of help. I can guide you, and I know that you're going to invest in land and properties and become a multi-time billionaire. Thank you very much for watching. Do have a nice time. Still tuned.